Hello, my name is Miss Megan, and I'm the head of circulation here at the Leach Library, and I thought I'd share with you a couple of new books that we have in the young adult section. First, we have a book called The Brave by James Byrd. This book is about a boy named Colin who has a little bit of a quirk. He has OCD, so the way that presents is that he counts the letters and the words that people speak to him. So other people can find this annoying. Even Colin finds it a little bit annoying too, but it's not something that he can control. But what happens is it causes trouble in school. He gets into fights and just overall has a hard time. And then he keeps getting kicked out of different schools. So Colin's father decides he needs to go live with his mom. And Colin's never really met his mother. He doesn't know much about her. He doesn't even know her name. But he's sent to Minnesota, and he thinks it's going to be more about the same. People don't really understand him. He's going to be a little on the weird side, and people are just going to treat him the same as it's always been. Well, when he gets to Minnesota, he realizes his mom is an Ojibwa, and she lives on a reservation. And what this means is that there's this whole community and this whole other life that Colin never really knew about. He has a whole heritage of his mother's people that he gets to learn about. And for the first time, he's really accepted for who he is. And he actually makes a friend, which is first for him. He meets a friend with the girl next door. Her name is Orenda, but she likes to spend most of her time in the treehouse, and she thinks she's becoming a butterfly. So the two of them both have their own unique quirks that make them a little different, and that really helps them to bond. So Colin starts to blossom while he's living with his mom, and he finds out more about his life, where he comes from. And so there's a little bit of magic and mystery in the book. A couple of really fun things that I liked were at the beginning of the book, before the story begins, it starts with the definition of the word brave. So it can mean a Native American warrior, or it could mean someone who's courageous in the face of danger, like that. And the character of Colin is really none of those things at the beginning. But as the story progresses and he grows as a character, you realize that he fits the definitions in different ways. Another fun thing that I liked is that Colin, as he's narrating the story, actually writes a letter to the reader, you. So as you're reading the story, you get kind of drawn in, and he says he's going to make a deal with you. And so I thought that was really fun. He does this a couple of times in the story, and he, once you get to the end, you just want to start right back at the beginning and really find a little bit more out about the characters that you've met along the way. And there's a secret code, a secret message that's in the book, which I thought was really fun too, because who doesn't like a secret message? So there's just a lot of different things going on in this book that make it really fun, and it's a great read. So if you'd like to learn more about Colin and how he adjusts to living with his mother and on the reservation, take a look at this book, The Brave by James Byrd. Next we have a book called Half-Life, and this is by Lillian Clark. The main character of this book is actually kind of two people, but we'll get to that in a minute. But we'll start with Lucille. Lucille Harper is a perfectionist. She's an overachiever, and she just wants to get everything right. But she finds out it's kind of hard to do everything all at once, and sometimes she wishes that she could be in two places at once, like if she had a clone. Well, the opportunity comes when she sees an ad for a company called Life Squared. So this company is looking for volunteers to test a new technology that they have for a 4-week trial. And Lucille thinks this is the perfect answer for her to get everything done that she wants to get done. What it is Life Squared is offering Lucille the opportunity to clone herself so that she can be in two places at once. So we're then introduced to the character of Lucy, who is Lucille's clone. So you know who you're dealing with because they have Lucille and Lucy. And Lucy's an exact copy, so she has all her same thoughts and everything that makes Lucille who she is. So they're like the same person. But as they start to go throughout the story and you get to know the two characters, they start to separate a little bit based on their life choices. So they're not exactly the same anymore. They have different experiences, and Lucy starts to become more of her own person as an individual. And then Lucille really kind of sees how her life could be different if she embraces it more like Lucy. So there is that fun view of what your life could look like in a different way. So you have that science fiction vibe in the case where there's this cloning, but it's a really great story. Even if you're not into science fiction, it's more about the characters and what makes you unique. And so as Lucy becomes her own person, separate and away from Lucille, they realize that at the end of the experiment, Lucy wants to stay independent. And so there's a little bit of mystery involved there as Lucille and Lucy have to come together to fight the corporation to have Lucy be her own person. And it really sums it up well with the tagline. It says, 2 of her own heads are better than 1, which I just think is a really fun saying. And in this case, you really get the idea of they're the same but different. So if you're interested in either of these books, we have The Brave by James Bird and Half-Life by Lillian Clark. Give us a call at the library at 432-1132 or check out our catalog online. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.